Let's rank the most important players for the Suns' future. So number 1 obviously has to go to Devin Booker. Book is going number 1 for 2 reasons. The first reason is that Book is the best player on the Suns, and this team only goes as far as Devin Booker can take them. Everyone knows that Book can be a number 1 option on a good team, but I really wonder how Book will do this year as the number 1 option while being the point guard. In the past, Book had Chris Paul that can handle the point guard duties, so Book can score and be the secondary playmaker. And Book had KD that allowed him to be a point guard and not have to worry about scoring. So this season, Book is going to have a lot of pressure. He has to find the right balance of being a passer and scorer while also having the best defender on him every game. And the second reason that he's important to the Suns' future is that of all the players on the roster, the Suns would get the best trade assets if they traded Devin Booker. They could probably get 3 to 4 first-round picks and young players just for him. The second most important player for the Suns' future has to be Maluach. The Suns drafted Maluach with the 10th pick in this year's draft, and that's probably the only first-round pick that the Suns will have in the lottery for the next couple years. So for the Suns to be good in the next couple years, they really need Maluach to hit. Right now, he's a mystery box. He can be an all-star or a good starter on a good team. He can be the best or second best player on the team in the future, especially with his height and wingspan. Maluach did play at Summer League, and so far people's reactions have been mixed. Some people say they weren't impressed, while other people have enjoyed seeing him play. I personally enjoyed watching him at Summer League. He was doing stuff that I didn't expect him to do. I didn't think they would let him shoot threes, but they did. And even though he shot 23% from 3 in 3 games, he kept shooting and looked confident every time he shot the ball. It didn't look good when he was dribbling, but at least he was trying. And his defense was pretty good. There were moments when players were scared to drive towards the rim because Maluach was in the paint ready to block their shots. If the Suns had a real point guard at Summer League that could help Maluach get easy points, maybe there wouldn't be people that didn't like his Summer League games. The third most important player for the Suns' future is Jaylen Green. Jaylen Green is the player that can really make or break the Suns this season and in the future. Right now, the Suns need him to be the second option because the Suns don't have anyone else on the team that can create their own shot. If he plays good, then the Suns will either trade him for a better player that fits on this team or keep him long term. And if Jaylen Green isn't good this season, they'll probably trade him for whatever they can get. I wasn't a fan of Jaylen Green before the KD trade, but after watching more of his game, I'm starting to like his game. I can see why the Suns wanted to keep him this season to see how he plays next to Book. Jaylen Green adds athleticism and quickness to a team that wants to run, and Green's ability to drive towards the rim is something that no one else on the team can do consistently. The fourth most important player for the Phoenix Suns' future and this season is Mark Williams. This might be a controversial pick because most people would pick Ryan Dunn, but Ryan Dunn has another 2 years on the team and has enough time to develop more before the Suns have to pay him. While the Suns have invested 2 late first-round picks for Mark Williams, who after this season is up for a new contract. Mark Williams up to this point has shown that he has the potential to be a top 15 center in the league. He's in his 4th year in the league and has shown that he's a good athletic defender that can drop 15 points and grab 10 rebounds a game. But the problem is that the most games that he's played in his career is 44 games. That's why the Hornets were okay with trading him at such a low price, and the Lakers trade that never went through probably helped too. If Mark Williams wants to get paid, he'll need to play at least 65 games this season, or he'll end up getting paid 8 to 12 million a year. Or the Suns could trade him after 1 year if Maluach shows that he's ready to be a starter after 1 season. The fifth most important player for the Suns' future in this season is Ryan Dunn. I've been a big fan of him since the Suns drafted him because he fit everything the Suns needed at the time and still need now. He's a 6'8" wing that can defend but just needs to work on his 3-point shot. In the beginning of last season, he had fans thinking that he was ready to be a 40% 3-point shooter, but he ended the season shooting 31% from 3. I think he's good enough now that if he doesn't develop more, he'll at least be a good bench player that can be a starter when needed. But if he wants to be a starter in the league, he needs to be a 35 to 38% 3-point shooter, and I think he can do that. I hope that he uses this season to improve his 3-point shooting and see if he can create his own shot, since this team only has 2 players on the team that can consistently do that in Jaylen Green and Devin Booker. Plus, he's probably going to start at the 4 this season and is going to have a lot of minutes, so Dunn will have enough opportunities to create his own shot. And if he proves that he can do that, we're talking about the perfect 3-and-D role player, and those type of players are valued by the league and get paid a lot of money. The 6th most important player for the Suns this season and the future is Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks has a reputation of being a dirty player that plays hard, and the Suns really need a player like that on the team to build a tough defensive identity. This team has had no identity since they traded away Chris Paul. As we saw in the last 2 seasons, the Suns just depended on Book or KD to score enough to get wins while being alright on defense. When Chris Paul was on the Suns, they were a smart basketball team that made quick decisions with the ball and had low turnovers. With Dillon Brooks on the team, I feel more confident that this team will be good on defense, especially with all the length and young players that the Suns added on the team. I want to see a Book, Brooks, Dunn, Oso, Maluach lineup. This lineup will be good defensively with all that length, but their spacing might be cheeks. This lineup can be good, but Dunn and Maluach are going to need to shoot 35% from 3 to give Book some extra space to do his thing. Plus, the Suns really need an enforcer on this team, and Brooks will easily fit into that role. If a player tries to do anything to Book or Green, I'm going to expect Brooks to do something. The 7th most important player for the Suns' future in this season is Oso. I feel like I should be putting Oso higher, but his career is tough to predict. Oso's lack of size makes him more of a 4 than a 5, and Oso can't play the 4 because he can't shoot. So if Oso wants to have a long career, he needs to play next to a 5 that can shoot 3s. And maybe Maluach can develop into that, but it's too soon to tell. Or Oso can develop a shot so he can play the 4. It's tough because Oso is talented, but players that are tweeners like him usually don't play in the league for long. But I think what will keep him in the NBA for another 10 years is how smart of a player he is. He always finds a way to be effective on the court by making smart plays. Plus, he's a good defender. I might be the only one that wants to see this, but I hope this season the Suns give him chances to be the point guard on offense, just to see how that would look. The 8th most important player for the Suns' future in this season has to be Rashir Fleming. When you look at the Suns roster right now, they are clearly missing a player that can play the 4. Oso and Ryan Dunn can play the 4, but Oso needs a center that can shoot 3s to make that work. And the Suns don't have anyone at the 5 that can shoot 3s, but I can be wrong. If Maluach can shoot 35% from 3, then Oso can be the answer at the 4 spot. I like Ryan Dunn, but his height and size makes him more of a 3 than a 4. So the only player that has the potential to play the 4 on the Suns long term is Fleming. And the good thing about Fleming is that his offense is good enough to be a role player at the 4 in his rookie season. If he just hits his 3s, then he'll be good. But the one thing that can stop him from getting playing time is his defense. He needs to show that he can defend against other 4s in the league, and if he can do that, then he could be the long-term answer at the 4. The 9th and 10th most important players for the Suns' future in this season is Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal. I decided to put these two together because they're veteran players that will be coming off the bench and will be mentors for the young guys on the team. They'll probably start playing less as the Suns get close to the trade deadline. So I expect one or both of them to get traded this season to give more minutes to the young guys on the team while also getting assets. I like Royce and Grayson Allen, but they aren't worth keeping long term on this team. Royce has shown that he's a good veteran wing that can play for any contender. He's not the same defender that he was on the Jazz, but he can still play that 3-and-D role that contenders want on their team. Grayson Allen is also good, but the Suns have too many guards on the team. And if Kobe Brio can prove that his 3-point shooting is real and that he can at least be a mid defender, then that makes Grayson Allen expendable to me. The 11th and 12th most important player for the Suns' future in this season is Colin Gillespie and Kobe Brio. Colin Gillespie probably shouldn't be this low, especially since he's the backup point guard and will probably start if Book or Green get hurt. I'm a big fan of Colin because it felt like he was helping the Suns win games last season when they really needed it. I remember after the Bucks game, I thought the Suns were really going to go on a run and make the play-in. He was one of the few bright spots from last season, and I hope this season he can continue to play good minutes for the Suns. I was really surprised that the Suns only signed him to a 1-year contract. I thought he would at least get a 3-year contract with the last 2 years being not guaranteed. Another player's contract that I'm surprised about is Kobe Brio. He signed a 2-way contract with the Suns, but I thought he would at least get a 3-year contract. I don't think he's going to play a lot of games for the Suns this season, since he has Royce, Grayson, Colin, Book, and Green ahead of him. He'll mostly play in the G League for the Valley Suns, but once Royce or Allen get traded, Kobe Brio will definitely get minutes, and I'm excited to see how his game can translate to the NBA. This man was on fire in Summer League, and I wonder if he can do that against an NBA defense. The 13th most important player for the Suns' future in this season has to be Nigel Hayes-Davis. He was the hardest player for me to rank because the Suns only signed him to a 1-year contract. I know he's a Euro Finals MVP and that he's had a good career overseas, but that doesn't mean that his game will translate to the NBA. We've seen players that can barely get minutes on an NBA team go overseas and win Euro MVP like Mike James. And even if Nigel Hayes-Davis plays good, will the Suns be able to re-sign him? They'll probably have the MLE next season and can sign him to a $12 million a year contract. But if other contending teams offer the same contract, would he want to stay on the Suns or go to a contending team? Plus, I'm confused how he's going to get minutes this season. So far, I have Green, Book, Brooks, Dunn, Williams, Colin, Royce, Allen, Richards, and Maluach playing ahead of him. That's already a 10-man rotation, and including Nigel Hayes-Davis would make it too complicated. Will the Suns decide to not play Maluach and give his minutes to Nigel Hayes-Davis? Or will the Suns cut Dunn, Royce, and Allen's minutes to get him in the rotation? Even with all these issues, I'm still 70% confident that he will have a good season on the Suns.